Hi guys, hello, welcome to today's video. We are nearing the end of October, so it is time to do our November TBR jar video, but this month we're doing things a little bit differently. Essentially, we're doing it the complete opposite of how we usually do it. So normally I use the TBR jar prompts to build a TBR. Today, we're actually going to be starting with a very full TBR and using the prompts to take away books, so take books off of our TBR. I did get this idea from someone on TikTok, and if she has a YouTube, I'll link her properly in the description, but here's her TikTok at the very least. And the 10 books that we will be starting with are All of Our Demise, Servant of Earth, Dire Bound, Fable for the End of the World, Beautiful Things, When the Moon Hatched, Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, The Midnight Feast, The Zodiac Academy, and then last but not least, From Blood and Ash. And the way that I came up with this specific pile is I actually, just yesterday I think it was, I posted a 10 before the end, aka the 10 books that I really want to read before the end of the year. The pile that I have though is a little bit different than the post that I made just because I had to switch out a couple of books because I don't own them yet. And because of the nature of these prompts, I needed to actually have the physical book for this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. Okay, so our first prompt to eliminate a book from our list. Okay, so we have two stuck together. I'm gonna take this one. Ooh, okay, it says the heaviest book. So basically, whichever book is heaviest on this list, we're gonna be taking off. This one, Dire Bound, definitely looks like, oh, actually, When the Moon Hatched is also another chunky one. I'm gonna end up ruining my books doing this. Oh no! I literally just bent the cover of this. That is tragic. Let's try to reverse the damage. Okay, here's half of the pile basically that definitely seem like the biggest, heaviest books, but we're gonna kind of do like a side by side. Ooh, honestly, these are actually kind of very similar. I do literally have a scale. Should I get the scale and actually like weigh them properly? Is that too much? I can't tell the difference. I feel like this one is slightly heavier, but I don't want to see that one go. Ooh. This one, I feel like this one's slightly heavier, right? I don't know if this is actually doing anything, but I feel like it's kind of helping. I feel like this one might be heavier. Like, although this one's thicker, this one somehow feels like denser. I think this one's heavier. Yeah, this one's definitely heavier. I feel like When the Moon Hatched is gonna be taking the cake though. Yeah, there's like no question. I'm gonna go get my scale. Okay, let's see which one is actually. First book, it is a pound, almost 11 ounces, crazy. And then that one is 1 pound, 8 ounces, definitely lighter. Lighter, wasn't sure about this one. Oh, see, that one's even lighter than the other two. So that just kind of like proves my point with this book. It's like thick, but the pages are fluffy. Okay, and then this one is 1.3. So that was clearly When the Moon Hatched. So this is our first one to be kicked off of our TBR. Prompt number 2. And we're gonna do this one. Ooh, this is gonna be hard. So this one says The Ugliest Cover, and literally, I feel like I got the majority of these books because of their covers, so this is actually gonna be so hard. I literally got this one almost purely because of the cover. It was a book that I featured in one of my like new releases, so I was like interested in the story, but when I saw the book actually in person, I was like, I need to have that immediately, so definitely not this one. This one is also super pretty, but I do feel like, no, this one is definitely not it. I'm gonna be honest, I read the first book in the series and I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to where if the covers were ugly, I probably would not have picked up the second book. Definitely can't be an option. This one I really like, but it's not like pretty necessarily. I mean, it's really cool though. This might be an option. We'll put that off to the side. Then we have Servant of Earth, which honestly is not like my most favorite looking cover in the world, but I do really love the fact that the actual like illustration and stuff is printed on the actual hardcover. Like, this is not a dust jacket, so this one is not gonna be an option either. This one, sadly, I feel like might be a really high contender for this. This is From Blood and Ash. I don't love the covers of these ones. Then we have this one. I mean, this one also could be the ugliest cover just because there's not much to it, but I literally specifically purchased this one. This is the UK version of this book because actually the US one is a pretty ugly cover, but I literally specifically bought this one from the UK because I preferred this cover. So although she is simple, that can't be on the list, right? I don't think so. And then we have Zodiac Academy. Love this cover. And then Dire Bound. This one also, honestly, I'm not like super in love with. Now that I've seen it in person, I like it a little bit more than what I did before, just because this whole image of this like sword is popped out, like 3D-ish kind of a feeling. So these three are going to be our options for ugliest cover. I don't think any of these honestly are ugly. That being said, out of these three, this one is definitely the prettiest to me. I feel really sad about this, but I think From Blood and Ash is gonna have to be my option for the ugliest cover. Prompt number 3. Let's pick this one. Ooh, this one's gonna be really hard as well. This one is basically the one I think I would rate the highest out of all of these. So essentially I have to take off the one that I feel like I'm gonna actually like the most, which is very unfortunate. And the first one that I feel like could be a potential is this one. This one is very similar, it sounds like, to Fourth Wing, where you have these trials to like bond with a dragon, but you're bonding to a dire wolf. Also too, there's like an element to this that I feel like I've been seeing where there's like different, not houses, but like different types of dire wolves or something. Like people are like, ooh, which one are you, kind of a thing. And that kind of reminds me of like the Harry Potter houses, and that's another concept that I think is really fun. So I feel like I'm really gonna like this one. This is another one that I feel like I'm also really gonna like. It's basically about a virtual game. Like she's an assassin and she's in the game and her job is to assassinate her. And it's like a digital like online game, I think, or something like that. Like as far as I understand anyway. I read a book called Nerve a few years ago and I really enjoyed that. It has kind of a similar concept where that one was also kind of like an online like game of dares kind of a thing. So I don't know, it just reminds me of that, and I really enjoyed that other book, so I feel like I'm gonna like that. This one is a wide choose. I love a good wide choose. This one is very new to me, so I don't really know anything about this one honestly, except the cover does say 6 Deadly Trials, and again, I love a trial, so there's that one. And then the Zodiac Academy. I have heard so many good things about this. These are literally the 10 books out of all of the books on my shelves, the like 200 something that I need to read on my physical TBR that I want to read the most. So this is so hard. I don't think honestly it's going to be this one, just because fantasy will, even though it's a wide choose and I do love a wide choose, fantasy will always beat a wide choose. Also this one is just too new for me to really have that much excitement hyped up around it. Also this one I feel like probably not. It's going to be between these two. And honestly, I feel like this one I've just heard more hype on. And I've heard specifically that a lot of people feel like this is very bingeable. So even though these are like really chunky, people just kind of like fly through them. So that makes me feel like this has to be the option. This is the one that's gonna get kicked off the island. This is way harder than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm sad. 2 more prompts to go. Second to last one. Let's do this prompt. Ooh, okay. This one's gonna be a fun one. This one says least interesting cover quote. So you know how it has quotes usually on the cover or the back from like other authors? That's what we have to go off of. And looking at this first book, there isn't any. But I don't want to have to like immediately take it off the list. So I'm going to add these little like blurbs. So this one says, only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. And then the bottom one says, it's bond or bleed, duel or die, failure is ruin. And we are trying to find the least interesting. So I am definitely interested in the fact that it has, you know, trials and stuff in it. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like any book that has trials in it could have said something very similar. So okay, this one also does not have any specific author quotes. So the back of the book just says, this world can break anything. And I guess we'll include the inside as well. That one says, Lamb's Gauntlet is a live streamed assassination spectacle and the best lamb has been chosen. I'm gonna be honest, kind of boring. Like, the concept sounds cool, but I do feel like using the actual synopsis kind of in here was a little bit of a cheat. So just using what it says on the back, I feel like this could be anything, you know? So this one, again, the little blurb on the front says, 6 deadly trials, 0 room for error. Then there is actually some quotes on the back as well. So we have, I could not put this down. Simple and straight to the point, guaranteed binge read, and then a wonderfully unique fae fantasy led by a fierce heroine. I mean, the fact that 2 of them basically said, this is binge worthy, definitely is very intriguing to me. I love something I can binge. And then as far as beautiful things, we have a quote at the top. It says, smart, spicy, and witty with a heroine to match. Here's the first book in a Why Choose Regency romance series from the New York Times bestseller of North is the Night and Pucking Around. North is the Night. I literally have that book and it's never registered to me that that was the same author as Pucking Around, which is the hockey Why Choose romance that I read like a while ago. Very different vibes, I feel like. But also reading this little quote reminds me that this is a Regency era Why Choose. And alongside that illustration, definitely gonna be keeping on the pile for now. That is not an option. And then we have All of Our Demise. Right here, there's a little quote. It says, may the best villain win. Love that concept. And then we have a quote at the back that says, magical, clever, and cutthroat. A fun, twisty ride through a world full of spells and family secrets. I mean, that one definitely sounds intriguing. And then Map of the Otherlands, we have a quote at the top that says, like all good fairy tales, this book is enchantingly charming with hints of razor-sharp teeth. My only complaint is that it ends. I mean, how can you say no to that? And then last but not least, we have The Midnight Feast. Unputdownable, Foley is superb, and wicked fun. Exceptional, a triumph, a stunning mystery, an atmospheric, tantalizing thriller. I was turning the pages way past midnight. I mean, with all of those. Rave reviews. We have to keep that one there. So here's all the ones that we are keeping. And we literally only have this one left that didn't make it back onto the pile. So Fable for the End of the World is unfortunately getting chopped. Last but certainly not least, our final prompt to see the last book that will be cut from our TBR. Ooh, okay. Oh no, this is another bad one. So this one says the highest Goodreads rating. I keep getting excited with these ones because I'm so used to like, ooh, sweet, I'm gonna be adding a really good book to my TBR. Except now it's the opposite, and I'm gonna be taking away a really good book from my TBR. I literally have the opposite of all of these in this jar as well. So I have the lowest rated, and I have the one that I would be the least interested in my pile in this freaking jar. But of course I get the ones where I'm taking away good books. I mean, they're all, I'm sure, gonna be good books. Servant of Earth. That one has a 4.2. And then Direbound has a 4.3. So as of right now, actually, let's go ahead and take all of these off and then we'll put them back on. So far, this is the highest. So that one is at risk. Next up, we have Beautiful Things. 3.89, so not obviously above a 4.3. Then we have All of Our Demise, and I feel like already I know this one's probably not gonna win, but we'll check anyway. 3.84. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, 4.26. This one was very close, but still not beating our 4.3. I'm so upset. I feel like out of any of the books on this, I really wanted this one to stay on the TBR, and it's looking like it's gonna be leaving. All right, so last but not least, we have The Midnight Feast, 3.58. This one actually has the lowest, I think. Well, this is a sad day for me. We're gonna be taking off Direbound. With that, these are the 5 books left standing. So this, as of right now, is our November TBR. So we have The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett, All of Our Demise by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. This one, honestly, I really need to finish. I have been trying to listen to the audio for this for months. And that's not because it's like bad, I just have absolutely no interest in audiobooks right now. And obviously I have the physical book, I could just read that, which I might honestly do. But I had a really good time listening to the first book on audio, so I kind of wanted to have that same experience with this book. But yeah, it's been like 3 months and it's just not happening, so we'll see. And then we have Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. I am so actually really excited for that one. I think that one and this one are the ones that I'm the most excited for. And then we have Servant of the Earth by Sarah something. I can't read the rest of it because it's got stickers on there, but it does say it on the spine. So Sarah Hawley, I think that's how you say that. So there is our TBR as of right now. And with that, that is everything that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little like twist on the typical TBR jar. We definitely do have quite a few prompts left in here. And this was a lot of fun. I think we're gonna be doing this again next month, but let me know what you guys think. That is everything that I have for this video. I hope you guys have had the most amazing of days, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye.